welcome to another episode of Wisdomization. As we say here all the time, to wisdomize is to make something wiser, to pour wisdom into something, to elevate our minds, our consciousness, our intellect, our reasoning, our whole soul awareness beyond the phenomenon of the physical reality, beyond the three-dimensional cognition, because the 3D cognition is a cognition of humanity. Cognition is a level of awareness, the level of understanding, the level of comprehension, right? The level of comprehension of humanity is based on the physicality of things, not on the metaphysical nature of reality, but to understand the physical dimension, the physical aspect of a reality means that we must have a comprehensive, good background, good knowledge of metaphysics or metaphysical realities, right? Metaphysics simply means beyond the physical. So beyond the event you see, beyond the manifestations you see, beyond the material realm, beyond your five senses, there are other dimensions and other realities which are often not being taught in school. So metaphysics is not being taught in our school system, and that is by design, because when we incarnate here, remember we are celestial beings we are terrestrial beings in terrestrial experience. We are celestial beings having terrestrial experience. We are souls experiencing the physical world, the physical reality. And because of this, there are systems in place. There are systems in place that have been here for thousands of years that are condensing the human consciousness, that are trapping the human consciousness within this specific point in matter. So what happens is that your attention, remember everything is attention, your attention is drawn specifically to this reality, to this physical reality, right? And because of that, we neglect this other multi-dimensionality of existence, this other multi-dimensional nature of ourselves, right? So we forget, or we pay less attention to our metaphysical self, to our higher self. Remember, our physical self is our lower self. Our true self is transcendental. Our true self is spiritual. So, and what these systems of indoctrination we call education, our political education, our social programming, our cultural conditioning, our economic conditioning, all these avenues of learning for humanity are all designed to make sure that you don't realize yourself as a higher form of being, right? As an advanced transcendental being. That's why metaphysics is not being taught in schools. Even if physics is taught in school systems, there are versions of metaphysics that could be categorized as watered down metaphysics. What the modern educational system focuses on is on anthropomorphic materialism, which means on the studies on the physical nature of man. Most of the sciences we have, medical sciences, philosophical sciences, even theological sciences, focuses on the physical nature of man. And because of that, our true history as soul incarnates are not being taught. And therefore, we don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from. We don't know our purpose here in this physical material world. And as I said, the purpose of all these educational systems is to make sure that they condense, they congeal, they trap your attention specifically at this point in matter, because that's where you live. It's like having an onion. Reality is like onion. It has multi-dimension, it's multi-layered. Onion has different layers. So if you peel out the outer layer, it has inner layer, over and over and over. That's how reality is. But because we live in this physical realm, we are only living in one layer of the onion of reality, right? So our attention is only trapped within one specific layer of the onion. Because of that, we don't get to see what the onion is in its essence. The true nature of the onion, the true nature of our soul as a multi-dimensional creatures is lost. As I said, that is by design. So please do subscribe to my channel. So today we are going to discuss metaphysical realities, metaphysics. beyond physics, beyond physical, beyond the manifest, beyond the five senses. And we are going to talk about demons, sound wave manipulation by demons. Demons, what a lot of people in the religious sector we call demons. I usually use the word fourth density beings. We live in the three-dimensional reality, but there are fourth density being as one layer of the onion, as I said in my analogy. One layer of the onion beyond our own reality, beyond our physical reality. And there are entities or beings that are disincarnate. Disincarnate means they don't have physical material composition as we do. They don't have body, they don't have flesh. So these other dimensions or densities above us, there are entities that populate that realm. And that is where what a lot of people in the religious sector call demon, that's where most of these entities or energy forms or energy life forms are coming from, or rather projecting themselves towards our reality, within our reality, for the manifestation, for the manipulation of mankind, for the manipulation of humanity, for the purpose of zapping our energy, of zapping the human soul energy, right? That is the purpose of these beings who live in the fourth density. That is the purpose for which they manifest in our realm, right? To take energy, to steal energy. They camouflage, they project themselves in our reality to steal energy. But then, because of misinformation, because of indoctrination, because of misleading of a lot of people. So when you think of demons, what you think about probably something with physical form. But in this category, we're talking of energy consciousness. We're talking of energy beings, pure beings that lack physical composition. So they are more of waveforms. And for me to explain what I mean by waveform, we also have to understand that the entirety of the physical matter, what you see around you, does not exist. All the objects, all the events, all the material manifestations in space and time, which you think you perceive, you think you experience, right? You think you've seen a tree standing there. You think you've seen an animal, somebody walking. You think you've seen a car drive by. They are ocular illusion. They are visual perception. They don't exist. That's why I say this is beyond many people's metaphysical knowledge. I mean, many people's comprehension. Like, how dare you tell me that if I'm looking at a tree outside, if I'm looking at something outside, they don't exist. Yet, they don't exist as a physical density. So the physical density, the composition, the forms in which you perceive outside of you does not exist, right? In other words, reality is introspective. Reality is spiritual. Reality is from the spiritual realm. So then how come I'm seeing events manifesting in the physical world? First of all, the human perception, what we call the human perception, the human knowledge, can only see things and understand things within a very minute, very microscopic, very tiny information within the entirety of the electromagnetic field frequency, within the frequency band that exists. So if reality is 99%, you can only perceive a very tiny fraction of the 99% reality that exists. So there are things beyond your capacity for perception, things you don't see, you cannot see with your physical eyes. And because of that, that's why you don't see these other energy formulas or energy forms that exist as demons or negative forms of existence, right? So these demons or these entities, these fourth density beings exist, as I said, in the fourth density. And they have been shut off from the prime creator, what the scriptures describe as angels being cast out of heaven. So they've been cast out of heaven. Heaven means connection with the one, connection with the divine, with the prime creator. They've been cut off, and therefore they exist in this realm, this bubble, this fourth density reality, feeding off of themselves. Because they lack access to life. The prime creator or the true God, the big God who made all things, is the source of life. They've been cut off from the source of life. So they have to exist. And for them to exist means they feed off of each other, right? That is why they are called, that realm, the fourth dimension, the fourth density is called service to self dimension or density. They live in the realm regarded as service to self, because it's a center of entropy, it's an entropic center, a center that feeds off of itself because eventually exhausts their energy. right? Because if you bring, say, 1,000 people and you put a lot of food inside the house and you lock all the doors so that the 1,000 humans are trapped inside that particular room, there's a time when the food they have is exhausted because there's nothing coming in. They are going to use up all the energy, all the resources in that room. What happens? They begin to feed off of itself. So this is how that realm, that quarantined realm, if you like, astral realm, right? That's how it operates. And because they lack access to true God, they now target the soul consciousness. That's why they need you to feed off of your energy, right? These entities need you. So, and how do these fourth density beings you call demons, you call bad angel, you call Satan, you call evil entity, how do they manipulate human beings? Again, we're going to go back and talk briefly about how the event, reality, there's no physical composition. So I'm touching this bottle of water. Why is that possible for me to touch this bottle of water? It is possible because of resistance in electromagnetic field. Again, the knowledge of quantum physics will help a lot of people to comprehend this metaphysical analogy I'm trying to depict here. I'm able to touch things because of resistance in electromagnetic field. Ordinarily, everything operates in an ocean, in a field of quantum vibration, right? So there's no density, there's no physical things out there, outside of you. So what you see as a physical reality outside of you, as the people walking around outside of you, is nothing but a projection of your own brain, the simulation of your own brain. That's what you see. It is a projection outside of you, like a simulation. When you simulate, for example, virtual computer system, you simulate something like a computer, they don't exist in reality, and they are virtual. So what you see outside of you is virtual. So what this tells us is that we should focus introspectively on the development of our soul. That is what knowledge, that is what education should focus on the introspective development and enhancement, the transcendental growth of our inner self, our inner being, because that is reality. The physical nature you see is illusion, the deception, an ocular. Ocular means the eyes. Ocular deception, the perception, the illusion, perception, deception does not exist. Does not exist. So, because everything exists in the quantum field, the quantum ocean of wave and vibration, right? Everything is vibrating because everything is composed of atoms and quantas and astral matters and astral light, right? So everything is actually wave. You live in an ocean of waves. So you as a consciousness exist as a vibration, as a pure vibration, right? As a pure vibration. Irrespective of the fact that you've been tricked, been deceived into focusing on this seemingly condensed energy, this seemingly condensed matter. So, the reason that humans could be manipulated is because these other higher angelic forms, who have manipulated humanity, they too are pure light. They too don't have physical composition. They understand that everything exists in the field of vibration. So they can manipulate sound frequencies that controls you, that surrounds your aura. Yeah? This incarnate aspect of you, these other realm I'm talking about, the demonic realm, and bad angel, the fallen angels, they have advanced technology, right? These are creatures as we are, they're created as we are. But they choose to be bad. Remember, the prime creator made everything to have free will, and they can evolve to be good or to be bad, right? But these chose to be bad. Satan, the antagonist, the evil side, the center of negativity or negative vibration, they project negative vibration, right? So, for man to be manipulated, to man to be deceived, means that these other higher realm have to project certain waveform to distort the wave around you. I'm trying to explain this because this metaphysics is also quantum physics, right? Because to understand physics or quantum physics, you got to understand metaphysics because everything comes from inside out, not the other way around. Everything comes from the inside out. So for demons to cause you disease means disharmony. It means the wave that composes you. The wave, electromagnetic waveform, this ocean of wave, the bubble of wave that controls you is distorted. I'm going to say this again carefully. I don't know, English is not my language. I'm trying to explain it as much as I can. So, because everything exists in a moment of vibration, in a moment of waveform, These other more advanced intelligent life forms can distort wave frequency, the sound vibration that surrounds you or that composes you, thereby distorting your perception and distorting your entire being. That is when you have disease or disharmony or disalignment, right, with your soul, right? And once you do that, it means that they control you. That's when you see religious people use the language, demonic attack. You have demonic attack. But when people who are religious think of demonic attack, they think of physical entity walking with leg, opening the door to harass people. That's not how things work. Talking of pure waveform in consciousness that are disincarnate, that are intelligence, but lacks physical composition, just as we are, right? And because there is so much deception here. And that's why you look at yourself, you focus on yourself as a materialized entity, but you should focus on yourself as disincarnate. You should focus on your waveform. You see people, for example, in certain religions thinking of the aura. You have an aura. And so once the waveform that composes your aura is distorted, it means something penetrates you. There's a virus that have been introduced within the electromagnetic waveform, within the frequency band that governs your life, and the wave is distorted. Then you are out of alignment with yourself. You are out of alignment with the prime creator. That is what demonic attack means. That is what devilish attack means. Remember, all colors that exist, we see 7 colors of rainbow. That is what the physical senses are able to perceive. And some people actually believe that is all the colors that do exist. There are sounds that you never perceive. So the universe, the cosmos, is an orchestra of different sound frequencies, different vibrations, different forms and lights, different movement, different energy forms. There are sounds that your ear cannot perceive, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. But they exist within the waveform, within the frequency band of these other 99.9% of reality that you don't see. And that you see the reason why they want to make you, all educational system, focused on the anthropomorphic material nature of man, anthropomorphic materialism. They want to make you focus on your physical nature. Everything you do here is about your physical survival. That is a fact. 99.9% of your pursuit is based on your physical survival, how to feed, how to quote unquote pursue your physical dream, how to become this, how to become that. But those are distractions to the true knowledge of your soul and where you came from. And because these other densities above, these other negative densities who are like, we're here and they're here. So they're above us, right? And because they're above us, these other beings outside this matrix, outside our reality, have more technology. They have more advanced knowledge. They understand, they see things beyond more than we do. If you watch, for example, Predators versus Alien, I think Alien versus Predator, a movie, you see that when you are looking at the world through the eye of the alien, it sees people as radiation, kind of radiation. That's how the aliens, was looking at people. It sees, it doesn't see like physical composition matter working as we see. And they are trying to tell you something in that movie, that this other dimension perceive us as waveform. And for them to manipulate, to cause you even physical illness. Modern science don't want to acknowledge that there are dimensions, there are entities that actually can cause physical disease. What is disease? Disease is disalignment with your electromagnetic vibration. That's what disease means. You cannot be sick if your vibration is not low. You get sick. Even death comes when the frequency is lowered to a certain level. That's when you experience death. That's when you experience demonic attack or disease or disharmony or disalignment with your true self. Because what demonic possession or demonic manipulation means is that you have your waveform. You are wave. I'm going to say it again. You are wave. You're not physical. You are wave. Your physical self you look at in the mirror is a result of the manipulation. They came as a result of the resistance in electromagnetic field. If you remove that resistance within the electromagnetic field that composes us, there's no man. You cannot touch yourself because you're pure spiritual. You're pure spirit. You're pure this incarnate entity. But who condensed energy to materialize as physical? There's another lecture for another day. It was what you call the demiurge. The demiurge played this. There's a grand deception here. we will all live in grand deception, and all the religions of the world have been teaching us are often small truth and big lie. Small truth and big lie. They open ourselves a little bit, they open our minds a little bit to some tiny information, but majority of what they teach us is an esoteric code, often perverted and corrupted, so that we don't actually know who we are. Right? Let me have a sip of water. So, no demon can manipulate you without, first of all, hijacking the waveform. You are wave. You are vibration. The way God sees you, the true God sees you, is not this physical composition. Go and watch that movie again called Alien versus Predator. When the cameraman was trying to make us see the world through the eye of the alien, right, or the predator, right? I don't know if the humans are predator or alien, but you know what I'm trying to say. When the cameraman was trying to make us visualize the world outside through the eye of that monster, right? You see that humans are kind of waveform, kind of radiation, right? That is how God sees you. God sees you as frequency. God sees you as wave, as vibration. That brings me to something else, that your vibration can be aligned to the negative side or to the positive side. I'm going to say it again. Your vibration, everybody has vibration. Your vibration can be high or low. And you've seen people in the spiritual movement or spiritual teaching saying, elevate your frequency. There are people you can be around who could be described as astral vampire. They zap your energy, they lower your frequency, they bring you down. Remember, demonic possession cannot happen unless your frequency is reduced. Your frequency is pulled down from high vibration to low vibration. But low vibration means distortion, being distorted. The wave, the frequency, the energy form that composes you is being distorted, right? To align with the fourth density beings, because they operate in the negative, the distorted wave, right? They're the ones who, that's what manipulation is. That's what demonic manipulation is. You cannot see reality as it is. You cannot perceive event as it is, because your perception of it, the wave, have been so distorted. It's like giving somebody a green eyeglasses. So you're going to see the world through, you're going to think everything is green. But if you remove the green eyeglasses, you see a different spectrum of light. You're going to experience a different world out there. So that is what is going on. You are not physical. Understand it, because if you understand this, you know how to protect your energy. You are pure energy. You are pure energy that could be aligned to the positive side or to the negative side. Even those who are designing technology of manipulation in our modern world understand this basic quantum science, this basic metaphysical science. They understand it. They understand it. Everything is a wave. That's why a lot of people say the 5G system they're designing is actually meant to target this other invisible frequency that you manifest, which you don't know anything about. You don't know anything about it because your consciousness, your awareness, your intellect, your spiritual focus have been condensed, have been trapped in one center, in one layer of reality, right? It's been focused, it's been condensed here, particularly in this point in matter. What you focus on is only one layer of yourself. Beyond what you call physical self, there are astral self, there are other spiritual self. Like, you are like multi-layer, you are multi-dimensional infinitely, right? You are expanded consciousness that has forgotten who you are. Because you've forgotten who you are, you focused only on matter. And the reason they made you to focus on matter is so that you are trapped in the physical reality forever, so that they keep on feeding off of your energy. You die, you reincarnate. You die again, you reincarnate. They're recycling you in the system. That's what religion has not been able to teach people. They lie to people. Once people die, they go to heaven. That's bullshit. People are being recycled in this zodiac wheel of time by the fallen angels who control the physical reality. Right? What I am saying is deeper than your comprehension. Jesus said, if I tell you of physical things of this world, you cannot even understand it. How much more if I tell you things of heaven, right? If you cannot understand basic quantum physics, how can you have grasp of metaphysical concepts? When I say that what the world outside of you, the people you see walking on this, they don't exist. It looks like somebody is saying crazy. Quantum physics is already beginning to discuss that in our modern time, that the world is a simulation within a simulation within a simulation. So you live in a computer program. Go and rewatch the movie called The Matrix. I say it in this platform, on this platform all the time, that that movie is actually, it is a depiction of reality put in form of entertainment, right? People who wrote that movie are highly occult. The movie is occulted. They tell you in that movie when the spoon boy raised up a spoon, he was talking to Neo, and this I think he called him the spoon boy, little boy with bald head like mine, right? So he had a spoon and was able, through the power of his mind, was able to bend the spoon. But at the end of that interaction between him and Neo, he told Neo, there is no spoon. So you try to bend yourself. He said, there's no spoon, which means there is no external world. The reality outside of you does not exist. The only reality you should focus on is your introspective inner spiritual essence. So that is the only real thing. Your physical matter, this 666, this carbon-based physical matter, it does not exist. So what exists then is your subsistent self. For those who have learned how to think metaphysically, in metaphysics, there's something called essence and existence, matter and form, right? Matter and form. So you go to the basic subsistent reality, and that has to do with your soul. That is your soul essence. That is the only thing that is real. Anything outside of you is artificial, is fake, the illusion, the demiurgic created illusion to deceive you into trapping your mind within this point in matter. Imagine the multiverse. Imagine the entire multi-dimensional reality, and there's only one dot where you focus your attention. That's how you live here on this planet. When you remove your attention to this anthropomorphic scientism that are teaching us, you see that your awareness will be expanded beyond this dimension. That's how you free your soul. That's how you're able to conceive reality beyond the illusion, see things beyond the illusion. So I'm not going to make this piece longer than it needs to be. The point I'm trying to make here is that you are not physical, and the physicality you think you perceive is an illusion, is a deception. The world outside you does not exist. So if the world outside you is non-existent, then why are you focusing all your life energy into pursuing things? I'm not saying that people shouldn't pursue things that interest them. Understand, you are having an experience. Have fun. But let not the world outside you be the sole purpose of your existence, because if that is reality, your soul, your mind, your awareness is condensed on the physical three-dimensional reality, and by the time you leave here, you're going to recycle, because you need to acquire enough light when you are still living in the physical matter to be able to help you to transcend and leave the matrix. Because this physical matter, material world, is not just the only matrix. In the astral realm, there are more matrices. Matrix existing there. There are more deception beyond this physical realm. And if you are ignorant here, if you're ignorant Catholic, Methodist, Pentecostal here, if you're ignorant evangelical or Muslim or Buddhist here, you also going to not have knowledge when you actually shed out this physical body. How long do you have to live here? A few hundred years, maybe 120 years, and you're gone. But when you're gone, it means this other part of you is going to exist in the infinite realm of event, right? In infinite dimension. And if you don't have enough light here, light means soul awareness, you're still going to be down the other place. And there are more forces beyond the physical realm that continues to deceive you and to recycle you in the wheel of time for their own energy consumption. You're a food. You live like in a farm. You're like a farm animal to these entities of the fourth density level. They feed off of your energy. That is why you make sure that all the entertainment you indulge your energy in, the world population is just being engineered to focus on entertainment, to focus on politics. Nobody is teaching them metaphysics. These other things surrounding you are illusions and distraction to the real journey of your soul. That is the only thing that matters. Yes, have fun. Yes, experience physicality because you're already here. But let not your whole energy of existence as a subsistent soul be dependent on these other things outside of you. Outside of you, there is no existence. And the world you see outside of you is a projection of your own illusion, your own mind, your own brain system. Next time, maybe some other time in the future, I might talk about how these occultic forces, occultic parasites hijack the human brain to use it as part of the grand illusion, right? Your brain is what is creating the world around you, the illusion, the deception, the perception deception that you see outside of you in order to keep your soul consciousness not understanding who it is. And what you should focus on is who my inner world is. So that is how demons deceive, manipulate, or cause possession or disharmony. They first of all have to distort your waveform. You are a pure wave, you are a pure vibration. You have to first of all distort it. When they distort it, it means they align it to their own frequency. I'm trying to explain this. When your waveform has been lowered or distorted, these demons or these fourth density beings will make sure that they align it. They align your wave to their own frequency. That's how they get in. That's how they get in and cause what they call disharmony. Disharmony is when your soul vibration is lowered, when your frequency is dense. That's when you begin to manifest dis-ease or disharmony within your spiritual and physical ecosystem. And more of a spiritual than physical, because you are spiritual being experiencing illusion of physicality. This is the primordial wave, and I am the wisdomizer. Please come back next time, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. To wisdomize is to make wiser, to make smarter, to expand our spiritual consciousness beyond the deception that humanity faces all the time. I'm signing out.